right, now to kids behaving badly, no, not in your house, really, online.
You may have heard of something called an avatar. It's basically an online alter ego. Well, some youngsters have apparently used their online persona on websites like this to scam virtual playmates. And while it may just seem like child's play, how do parents make sure their youngsters' bad behavior online won't lead to problems in real life? Let's ask the author of How Computer Games Help Children Learn. David Williamson Shaffer joins us now. He's the educational psychology professor at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Welcome. Nice to have you here today.
Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Let's talk for a moment about what's at stake right now. We're hearing that these games can be thought of as educational for youngsters, but at the same time, there's some real risks. And there are things such as you find on playgrounds like bullies that you find at school. You can find that same atmosphere online.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what's happening, is that these are the games that you're talking about are called multiplayer online games, and it's an opportunity for kids to work together to solve problems, to play games with kids all over the world, and that can be a very positive thing. But these are public spaces, and just as you say, as in any playground or schoolyard, there can be bullies, and kids have a chance to meet them anytime they're going out in public. So it's really important for parents to help their kids learn to play these games and play them safely.
And some of these games, though, I mean, I have two daughters. They play Webkins, but there are some other ones out there that teach you how to do rather nefarious things, like how to cheat in an election and how to sell shoddy merchandise and rip people off, right?
Well, the games aren't necessarily teaching you that. There are certainly people who play the games who use them that way. But your point is well taken. There are some games that are really good for kids and some games that aren't going to be so good for kids. And part of our job as parents is to make sure that what our kids are doing are things that are going to be good for them.
Well, so how do you do that? How do you monitor those games when your kids are online, when they are sites that you believe to be geared for youngsters?
Right. Well, I mean, the single best piece of advice I offer in How Computer Games Help Children Learn is that it's good for parents to play games with their kids. Maybe not play them every moment with the kids, but it gives you something to talk about because you know what they're doing and they know that you have an interest in it, and you can see what your kids are doing and what's going on. The second most important thing, obviously, is to encourage kids to play games well. And that means not just to play them, but to talk about what they're doing with their friends, with their teachers, and with you. And then that's what turns play in the game into understanding in the real world, and also obviously gives you a chance to know what's going on and when they're having trouble.
Yeah. You know, the cognitive maturity of children, obviously at ages anywhere from 7 to, say, 14, isn't such that they can easily differentiate between fantasy and reality. Is that a concern that they may not just understand what's real and what isn't?
Well, it is true for kids, perhaps somewhat younger than 7 in terms of whether or not they can distinguish fantasy from reality. But no, of course, that's something that you want to be concerned about. What is your child getting out of this game? What do they think is going on? And that's why talking with them about what they're doing is so very important.
Well, I guess the point I'm getting at, let me be really blunt. On the Webkins stuff, my daughters buy and sell like it's monopoly money, and I begin to worry, you know, that they don't understand in the real world, you know, you just can't toss around money like that.
Well, that's an excellent point. My kids play Webkins too, and you know, it is a little troubling that one of the things that they're doing is going shopping, and then when they need more money, they go work in the mines, or they have an opportunity to go and play the roulette wheel to get more money. But one of the things that I do is play the game with them, and we talk about, you know, what's real and what isn't, and if they want to buy a new room for their house, that they have to save up and they should keep some extra money so they can feed their pets and make sure they're taken care of. And so I look at these as opportunities if parents are involved in what their kids are doing. If you're just using it as a babysitter, though, that's when it can be really problematic.
Great ideas.
Well, Professor Shaffer, thank you so much for joining us today. Of course, the big message here is parents need to really be vigilant and keep close watch on what their kids are doing. All right, thank you.
Right. And we had Monopoly, and it was the same concept. You know, we started tossing around money and making deals.
Getting Park Place and all.
We didn't end up doing that in later life,
No.
I don't think.